Hello everybody, got a new video I'm going to work on today. So I've got a lot of material that I want to put up for sale on Etsy to get rid of. I'm going to start with a bunch of Brazilian banded agates. So I've got 10 sets of 6 slabs of Brazilian agate I'll be selling for $12 a batch. And just kind of wanted to make a video to go with my Etsy listings where I go through each of these, show what they're capable of getting cut out of them. I'll show them both dry and wet, and whether or not they're translucent, so on and so forth. So let me go through each set one at a time. So there's 10 sets of 6 each, so 60 stones. All right, so we'll start here in a second. All right, I'm gonna start with batch number 1. So each of these Etsy listings will have 6 Brazilian agate slabs in them. And in the description, I'll have the date that the listing was put up, which was yesterday, December 9th, 2024. And this one will be 12/09/24-1. So let's walk through these real quick. So this is a little piece. Go ahead and get wet. You could definitely get a really pretty cab out of. It's somewhat translucent with really nice bands and really nice color. I'll also have a picture of each of these dry in the listing with a ruler so you can see size. Alright, next slab, another one's fairly translucent. It's got a design on one side that you could easily erase, put your own on. Let me get this one wet. Alright. Love the color in this one and translucency. Okay, next up. This one is super translucent. Almost has a iris effect to it. Does have a design drawn on it, but you could easily erase that and put your own. Alright, next up. Alright, this one's got a really cool quartz pattern in the middle and banding on the outside edge. Again, translucent. Alright, next up. Okay, really translucent, but it's also very dark if you cover up the back. Love the colors in this one. Okay, it's a bit miscut. It's a little thicker on one end than the other. And this side looks like this is where the stone was glued to a piece of wood to cut. So this was probably the last cut. That's why it's miscut. But you could get some really cool, smaller individual cabs out of this slab. Alright, next up. Not 100% sure this is a Brazilian. It was in with the Brazilian agates though. This might be a India black skin or a Montana. It's got a nice dendrite right there. Very translucent, nice bands. Alright. That is the first batch. Alright, batch number 2. This will be the 120924-2 in the description. Again, a nice little colorful banded one. Does have some chips right on that edge, but definitely big enough to get a cabochon out of. It's a little bit translucent. Very nice banding. It's get wet. Very nice. Okay, next one, very translucent. Again, some nice color. And this will make you get one good one out of the middle here, or if you wanted, you could get some translucent ones with some very light banding in the side pieces, or you could kind of combine them. Alright, another one. It's definitely translucent. It's got some very light banding going on in that, kind of an orangish color to it. You can see some heavy saw marks on this one from whoever cut these. Alright, next up, this one, again, it's got a piece that didn't come off on this end, but look at the detail on this one. That is really cool. The back is really cool as well. Alright, next up, another translucent one. Got some water level banding on the bottom, and got some tubes dripping down from the top, quartz in the middle, and then fortification around the edge. Alright, last up. Here we go, we got a kind of a quartz one with a cool pattern, very translucent, with a bit of an orange center there where it was trying to be a floater. And you got banded agate around the outside edge. Alright, that was group number 2. Alright, up next, group number 3. This will be 120924-3. Let's walk through these. Alright. Again, a little translucent. Very nice colors and banding. That'll make a really nice cabochon. Alright, next up, again, this one's very translucent, especially in the center there. Looks kind of reddish. It's got a design drawn on it, but you can easily change that to whatever you want. The designs are all just drawn in pencil. It's got a little bit of water line, and it's got some that, I don't remember what that's called, where the color kind of changes, shifts, chromatography or something. But this is a really dark one on its own, but that'll polish up really nice. You can tell somebody had it on a stick at one point, was going to cab this. Alright, next up, got a big slab, very translucent. Some really nice detail in there. Most of the details around the edge, but the center of it's almost got an iris effect to it. It's got those little dots floating in there, and then this wee little bit of quartz right here. Alright. Next up, again, very translucent. A little bit of a quartz center, then you got that light banding, almost a clear band, and then more banding around that. And again, design drawn on this one, but could easily be erased and something else drawn on it. Alright. Also translucent. Very nice looking stone. Wee bit of quartz in the middle, but mostly banded. Alright, last up. Again, translucent. Yeah. And then this is a water lined agate. Very cool. Alright, again, this was group or batch number 3. Alright, let's go to the next one. Alright, batch number 4. This will in the description be 120924-4. We'll start off with this little piece here. It's small, but it's definitely big enough to make a cabochon out of still. Small one. Again, nice banding, nice colors. A little bit translucent. Alright, next up. Alright, so this one is definitely translucent. You can see the saw marks in this one. It's got the weathered outside edge and the translucent center. Kind of see the bands on this side. Alright, next up. This one looks like it's got a fracture here and here, but you could definitely work around that. It's got quartz center with a white band around that, between that and the almost translucent bands on the outside edge. That could make some really cool looking two-tone cabs. Alright, next up we got a kind of a orangish colored outside, quartz in the center, translucent, very nice pattern in the quartz, and a little bit of orange in the center. Alright, next up, I like this slab a lot. Again, it's translucent, but the carnelian colors in this are really nice. Alright, this one will definitely make some really nice cabs. Alright, last up, got a bigger slab here, translucent. Most of the details on the around the outside edge, but you got those little black dots floating in the middle, a little bit of a quartz geo center there. That would look cool in a cab. Then a little more quartz over here. Alright, And that was group number 4. So let's move on to the next one. All right, group number 5, this would be 120924-5. So we'll start off with this little piece. Very translucent. Definitely big enough for a cabochon. Love the fortification bands in this one. Almost an iris translucent top. Alright, this slab is again very translucent. You can see the bands in the light. That'll make an interesting cabochon for sure. Alright, next up. Alright, this one is gorgeous. Very translucent. Got a little bit of moss or plume on the edge here. Kind of see it on the back. Coming through the front here. Get the color shift in the banding. A little bit of quartz center. Alright. Again, a really nice water line. Some really cool patterns in there. I like that a lot. Alright. Next one up. A little bit bigger, darker. Most of the color is around the outside edge. More translucent center. Could definitely make a few cabs out of that one. And last up. Nice water line, fortification around the outside edge, and you got those tubes coming in from the top into the quartz. On a floater with more quartz. Definitely a really cool looking stone. Alright, again, this was group number 5. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, group number 6, that's going to be 120924-6 in the description. Again, a little translucent piece here. Make a nice cab out of that. That's a very nice translucent piece. Got some faint banding in it. Nice colors. See the banding a little better on the back. Alright, this one again is very translucent. Again, you can ignore the design, draw your own. You can probably get 2 or 3 cabs out of that. Alright, next up, got another water line. Again, this is a really cool water line with some neat, interesting patterns in it. Alright, and then we got a big, nice quartz piece. Very translucent, nice clean quartz, a little bit of an orange center, and a floater right in the middle. And last but not least, another large translucent dark banded stone. Alright, again, this was group number 6. So let's move on to the next. Alright, this is group 7. So it'll be 120924-7 in the description. Let's start off with a small piece. Again, this is a really nice carnelian banded agate here. That would make a gorgeous cabochon. It pulls off a little bit on that back edge right here. But still definitely big enough to get a decent sized cabochon. Next up, very translucent in the center. Interesting. All right. Again, very translucent. Nice bands in this one. All right, got another really dark one that's very translucent, especially right there in the center. Got some nice colors though, if you like the dark ones. Very cool. All right, and this guy here, really translucent. Definitely get 2 or 3 cabs out of that one. Got the color change in it. All right, last up. Looks like they didn't quite cut through that piece. Right there on the edge. I don't think that'll lose you too much. Very translucent. You got some dendrites in this one. Almost that iris effect in it. All right. Again, this was group number 7. All right, on to the next. All right, group number 8. In the description, this will be 120924-8. So this first piece is very translucent. Small, but definitely big enough for a decent sized cab. Love the color in it. All right, next up, again, lovely fortification bands in this one. Color play, or not play, but color changing on some of the bands. Got that almost iris effect at the top. Very nice bands in this one. Definitely big enough for a decent sized cab. All right, then we got one of those water lines. Again, very interesting pattern in this one. All right, next up, another really clear quartz, very translucent. A little bit of an orange center, and then an orange around the outside. And a little bit of a floater in the middle. Very cool. All right. And this one's got some stuff stuck in the saw blade marks. It's very translucent. Looks like it does have a hairline fracture, but it looks healed along that top side. But nice colors. All right, last up, got a big, very translucent slab here. A lot of water line, a little bit of quartz, and then some fortification around the outside. Could definitely make a handful of cabs out of that one. All right, again, this was group number 8. On the group number 9, let's walk through these real quick. Oh, in the description, this is going to be 120924-9. Okay, it does have a little bit of a nick from the saw blade right there. Let's get it wet. You could definitely work with that. It's small enough that if this was the top, that would go away if you cabbed it. Nice colors, translucent. Next up, alright, another very translucent carnelian. Nice bands. Definitely big enough to get a cabochon out of. Alright. This one is really cool. It's got some good pattern. And again, you can ignore the pencil marks, they come off. It's got some water line with some banding around some tubes right there at the bottom. That would make a really neat cab. Alright, this one looks like it had been polished at one point. Might have a few little scratches in it, but otherwise it's polished. See the water bead up on it. Nice looking little agate. That would make a nice cab or two. Alright, next up we got a smaller one of those quartz with the orange outside. Again, the quartz center is very translucent. Got a nice quartz pattern. A nice banded agate around the outside. Alright, last up we got a very large piece of very translucent banded agate. Let's see if I can get this guy wet. Hopefully this will fit in the box. Alright, it's got some interesting inclusions along this bottom part. A little bit pitted, but you could probably include that in a cab if you want it. And then very nice colors and banding in this one, blue-gray. Does have a couple fractures, probably healed, but might want to work around those. Alright, again, this was group number 9. Alright, on to the next. Alright, last group, group 10. So this would be 120924-10 in the description. Let's start with this first piece. Be careful, it's very sharp. But nice banding. Definitely big enough to get a cab out of that section here. Alright, next up. Again, translucent. Does have a little fracture right here, but it's got some nice swirly patterns in the fortification. Alright, get a few cabs out of that. And then, again, another piece of that really cool red carnelian. Definitely get a cab or two out of this. Gorgeous pattern and color. A little bit translucent. Very nice. Alright. This one's got a bit of a geode center around the agate floater. Some quartz, some more agate, and then quartz. And agate around the outside edge. Very cool looking. Very translucent. Clean quartz. Next up we got another one with the water line, fortification and tubes, and quartz. See the tubes coming down. Water line, quartz, quartz. And you could ignore the pencils, those will come off. This is a really cool looking stone. Alright, last up, got a very large translucent piece with some water line and then banding around it. Kind of that smoky light gray color. Almost an iris effect in that one. All right, that was the last group in this video. Again, see the description for this video for a link to where I'm selling these on one of my Etsy channels. Actually, I'm going to use my Gem Preforms channel for selling these. And yeah, please check out the stores and click on a few of the listings and take a look, see what you think. All right, I want to thank everybody for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.